What up, nerds? We are back with What's Your Nerd? We got my boy Timmy B Gaming with us. He just gave us all this crazy, awesome information about his former job as a commercial diver, which, you think you know a little bit about something, then they start explaining it and it blows my mind. Just like
Yeah,
that whole
nutty.
thing. That's not your everyday 9 to 5.
Right, facts. So I was gonna ask a question. You ever see anything? You ever see anything crazy down there? Like you ever like what's it? I know you seen some. You had to see something nutty down there, bro. Like
Okay. Can I tell a story that I haven't experienced firsthand, but it's a pretty crazy story, not too far away from me?
yeah, yeah.
Okay. All right. So my class, I went to school in Long Beach, College of Oceaneering. That's how I learned how to do all this stuff. Um, it just so happened that this particular day, I wasn't feeling well, decided not to go in. We had to go what we were doing. They call it the Vader project, which was a 6-inch piping job, flange connections. We had to go and search and recover it out in this harbor. It's literally where all of our goods that come in from China or wherever else in the world come and they funnel into this LA harbor and they pick up. So there's barges and everything. And this is where our school was set up. And it was just out in the middle of this harbor. Piping was out there. Every class that goes through does this project. When they're done with it, they take it apart and they scatter it and hide it out in the water. So the next class that comes in, we have to learn or utilize the skills that we learned along the way, search and recovery, rigging, all that stuff. And meanwhile, it's all blindfolded. So what they do is they put something, just anything that would go inside of your hat that obstructs. It's literally blind, completely blindfolded. You do everything by feel, communication from your top side. They can see where you're at. It's this type of diving. It's surface applied air, so meaning that you run off of like a hose. Have you ever seen Men of Honor? It's
Yeah.
so it's your air comes through. You have a communication line. There's what they call a pneumo hose, and then your main air supply. And there's somebody up top, literally like holding you like a leash, and they direct you where to go. Meanwhile, of course, you can't see anything. Everything's done by feel. You would do what you call circle searches. So you would jump in the water and you would start off as close as possible, and then you would kind of scan the area by feel, and then you don't find anything. You tell topside, let off 5 more, and they give you 5 feet or whatever, and then you go and you do like a circle around that. And if you don't find anything, give me 5 more, and literally you're doing everything and you're covering all the ground that you can, doing these what they call circle searches, right? So we were smack dab in the middle of this, still locating, still trying to find parts out there. And mind you, I wasn't there that day. Think Jeebus. It could have been me, but one of my classmates, he's running around feeling, bumps into something. And of course, there's just so many random things out there. It's
Yeah.
LA Harbor, there's trash, you name it. A lot of times you run into something and you're feeling around. Okay, does this feel like what I'm looking for? No, move on. Yada yada. Well, this guy, he bumps into something and he was like instantly got the whoa, what is that? Like feels around on it again. And he was like, hey guys, I got something. It's definitely not pipe. It's not sinking. It's not floating. It's just here. Well, let's see what it is, right? Instructor's like, well, let's check it out. So they send a rope down. The way you would send tools down and stuff is they would tie stuff off to your what they call your umbilical, right? This hose that goes down that you're tied off to. They could tie it to it topside out of water, and they tell you, bring it in. So this guy, he's bringing his hose in down in the water with him, right, until he retrieves whatever it is. This happens to be like a rope that someone would use to like retrieve whatever it is they're pulling out of the water. He ties off to it, knowing damn well what the hell this thing is, and then somehow not losing his mind. Ties off to it, tells topside, pull it up. They're pulling it up. First thing they see is a foot that comes out of the water.
Oh,
Whoa.
bro.
Yeah.
I was
So
like,
this guy
okay.
bumped
Just the
into,
foot?
and then had the wherewithal to not freak out, tie off to it, and let him recover and retrieve a person that had unfortunately expired
Oh,
somewhere in the area and
okay.
pulled
So
them
it
out.
wasn't. I thought you were saying it was just the foot. I mean, I
No,
guess it's not
it was
better that
attached to an entire, yeah, it was attached, unfortunately attached to a tire person that they I forget what they had deemed the reasoning behind it. I'm sure we don't get those details anyways, but yeah, that was
Yeah.
the
Woo.
craziest thing
yeah,
that
that
happened that I know of. Outside of me, pretty close. Personally, um, sea turtle, Gulf of Mexico. We're down there. We're doing an
Yeah.
inspection. Mainly what we do out there was uh, the company that I work for. We would go out and inspect any kind of thing deemed a tropical storm or up above in the Gulf that rolls through the Gulf of Mexico. It can't be manned until it's inspected 20% for structural integrity. So, what my company did was we would jam out there in boats. I was a guy since I was a welder. I wasn't a certified NDT. Um, and there's not a whole lot of welding going on over there unless there's like something crazy happening. I would go down there and I was like the labor guy. I went down there, I cleaned, there was weld joints and stuff that they'd want to inspect. I would clean those up, um, creating all kinds of like debris free food for fish to come along. Every single one of those platforms is its own ecosystem. It has all of its own marine life, it's its own
wow.
world, right?
Yeah.
So I'm doing this, create all this stuff going around. My job is done. I get the 20% columns, joints um, done. I come up out of the water and on my way up, I get bit in the ass by something. Now, mind you, we're always getting pinched, kind of prodded, poked by everything around you. This one was like, but this one got me to turn around and like jump it. And I turned around and look, and it was like a massive sea turtle, mouth wide open, staring at me like this, just like
Oh my
coming at me.
god.
Now,
Shit.
one of the first things they tell you before you go out in the Gulf of Mexico is do not touch the turtles. Don't touch them. Don't look at them. They will shut a job down quicker than anything because of the endangered list, right?
Yeah.
So this thing's coming at me, and I have a chipping hammer, just a standard welding chipping hammer, and I'm like trying to get it to back up. Meanwhile, in my ear and comms, my supervisor up top is like, "Don't touch it," and I'm like,
It's touching me.
yeah, stabbing back at this thing, and I'm trying to get away from it, and it's still like coming at me. I have no idea what I did to piss it off, but whatever it was, I pissed it off, and it all went on camera. It all got filmed. We can't edit anything. It all goes to the client, and they had to answer for it for whatever reason, but it turned out to be a pretty good laugh for everybody, and all was well, and turtle was fine, and I healed up pretty well.
Oh
Dang.
man, that's crazy. Maybe it was like territorial, maybe had like some eggs around or something.
Maybe, yeah, something, anything,
Yeah.
but yeah, he didn't
That's
like me
the
being there.
because
That's for
I
sure. He
don't
wanted me gone.
yeah, I don't know much about I'm not like a you know, I don't study animals that well or anything, don't know a lot about them, but usually that's the first thing whenever you hear like something like docile like a turtle attacking you.
Yeah, yeah, babies. Yeah, for sure. Something
Or
had to be going on.
or or it could have been a goon turtle. You know what I mean?
A
It could
goon
have been one
There
of
turtle.
you
the
go.
it had been one of them
Mm-hmm.
goon turtles. Like, yo, where
Mm-hmm.
you from? You a
Mm-hmm.
long way from home, bro. What's up?
You in my
You know
territory, homie.
Should have elbow dropped him, pulled him out of a
what
shell.
I mean? Right. My goodness. Yo, so that's dope, man. Like as far as work and stuff, let's talk about some of the things that you like nerd out over, man. You know what I mean? Like, so, like, what would you consider like, like just something that you geek out over?
What's
Like, no
your
matter,
nerd? One of your
yeah.
biggest passions, I guess.
Man, it's ever so changing. Like I always get these new crazy hobbies, but like when I get a new hobby, I go so deep into it. I go as deep as I can, and I get like everything in me is like focused. All my thoughts are consumed by that thing whenever nothing important is going on, and it's it's always ever so changing. The most late one is PC building. I recently got in that, and probably in the last year. Um, and everything that has to do with hardware, building it almost in like an artistic way, if you will, or custom way, uh making it unique in any kind of way. Also, like thinking of stuff that doesn't exist, like trying to invent stuff for it.
Yeah.
Like that's my most recent
Yeah.
one right now. So, but yeah, like I've gone over. I mean, I started playing guitar when I was 15, and there was a long run where it was like music was my thing. Um, and then there was a long run where like dirt bikes and like off-road vehicles was my thing. And then man, along the way I got into like RC cars, and it's just crazy. My wife, she this is probably streaming has probably been my like one of my longest, most consistent runs that I've done. That's also something that I nerd out over and really like kind of obsess over, is the whole not just physically being on, but like the production side of it as well.
Hmm.
I've built it from like I was saying earlier, just like streaming from my living room on my couch, uh, with no camera or anything, just straight from my PlayStation 4 to now I've got like I paid somebody to make like overlays for me, and like just seeing what other people have out there and like wanting to see what that's like to have that as well. Like I don't know, it just it's ever so changing, but right now probably my most recent one is messing around with computers.
That's awesome.
Word.
It's like I've always found building computers fascinating and like super hard to do. So I always think like maybe one day I'll get into that, but I highly doubt it because I'm kind of like you. It's ever so fleeting. I see something and I'm just like that's super interesting and I want to know everything about it right now. Like I call those nerd holes, like like rabbit
Okay,
holes, but just like something you just completely nerd out
I love
about and
it.
want to. Because I play guitar. I was like in a small band and then I did like a rap thing for a while, and that was actually pretty good. We did a lot of shows, but yeah, I completely understand when you say you like find something and like the same like content creating, and that's why I kind of the name all it was originally all nerd everything
Okay.
because like there's something it's like oh I like that it's like
Oh,
I'm a nerd about everything
yeah.
like everything in some form or some kind of degree.
Okay. For me, like nerding out on something is uh, like you can slash obsession. That's how I get with it. Like I become obsessed with it in a way like healthy, right? Where I'm not like putting the house up, on a second mortgage to fund it in a healthy way, as like best as I can do it responsibly. But like every extra little anything that I have like goes into it, right? Whether it's outside of my family, I have 5 boys, I'm a husband, but outside of that, like any extra time, dime, you name it, like goes into whatever is my nerd at the moment. And I don't know if it's a good thing.
Yeah.
Financially, it's probably not. I could probably all of my hobbies that I've had along the way and all of the stuff that I've had that I'm not into as much anymore, had I just put that into invested into I don't know, you name it. That's how like uh not into it I am in,
Yeah, but like
preparing
you
for my
said, like
future, but I like having my stuff, like just whatever I'm into, I want to build it to the best that I can at that moment and learn everything about it at that time.
yeah, just see where it goes, and it's
Mm-hmm.
I don't see anything wrong with it if it because you're always doing a hobby. Like you always got something you're doing extra. And I always say this all the time. Like we save money and like if you're spending money on something you like doing, it's not wasting it, especially if you're responsible in all your other areas. It's
Mm-hmm.
like, hey, I
Right.
got some money left over. Let's put it into this new hobby I'm
Yeah,
doing. Like,
that's it.
the
Right.
only thing that could get bad is like maybe you may end up with an attic or a basement full of stuff you don't need anymore and it's going to
Worst
get
case
passed
scenario.
through.
Yeah.
Right. For
Yeah. You got to
reals.
have a good yard sale that people are stoked to come to.
Yep.
Right.
And then you're gonna be like, oh, look, money for this new hobby I got.
That's it. That's
Right.
it. Always. Yeah. Wheeling
It's
and
a
dealing. Get
circle.
the
It's
next
a
thing going.
circle.
That's it. That's it. Somehow it never funds the next one though. I'm always somehow coming out of pocket still.
Yo, I definitely understand that, bro. I definitely understand that. That is so true. Everything I do, nutty.
Yeah, you're like have this great plan. You're like, well, I'll just sell this stuff and fund it. And then you're like, wait, I was supposed to do something with this.
Yeah, but that's the whole nerd journey, That's how it
That's
is.
it.
Well, it's
That's
like
it.
you said it's like full immersion until you're not immersed, and then you just find something else to immerse yourself into.
That's
If
it.
the
This
cycles.
the streaming thing at one point became that. Um, but because of like the community that I've built, the small community that I've built has been that's what's kept it like just if it fuels the fire like constantly.
Yeah,
Knowing that like the friends that I've made along the way, the people that I've met, knowing that like I get to go hang out with them on Friday night, like see what's up, see what they're doing, run games with them, talk to them. Um, if not, at least catch up with them. Like there's so many people that I've met that I would have never ever met. Never. Like both you guys, I would have never
Yep.
met you guys. It would have been so random for me to run into you guys. Like maybe Flame would have had a good chance. I do love me some good comedy, but yeah, dude, it's just it's that's what keeps fueling that one. I can't imagine that one going away or that one like me burning out on that one anytime soon because I really do like have a blast doing that, like just getting out there, being a part of it. And then even if it's not just my stream, it's going out and like supporting um the other people like my friends that I've met online and being a part of that whole thing and then like seeing them grow and a part of their journey like in any way I can like
yeah,
in literally like if I can and when I can I put if I'm not doing it for myself it's like for somebody else as well and that's been I've really enjoyed that also
Yeah,
seeing
I,
other
I
people grow and do their thing.
I totally understand because like I see you're a full, player or part of, the spotters community. So like I see those and like those like Friday night drinking stream. I haven't been in one. I'm like, oh man, it looks like so much fun. But Friday nights I'm usually like doing something else, editing or
uh
something random.
okay. Yeah,
yeah,
the spotters community has been a big one. Somehow, some way, Hefe the Muscle has like found the coolest people that stream that create. It's not even just Warzone content; it's all kinds of content. There's some like IRL content out there, and it's not just like on one platform. Where he's starting to expand to other platforms and stuff. But his just his like I don't know, he just knows who cool people are. I don't know how I ended up in the mix, but somehow I ended up there and like I feel very fortunate and blessed that I can call myself and I can be a part of the spotters community. So rad, full of the coolest people ever. And that's another one that keeps me going, that knowing that they're out there. Like you can catch them, like you said, every Friday night. There at least somebody, two, three people on and going, and we can go and hang out and we can catch up and good laughs, good times. And for me, like ultimately, like that's what I'm having fun with. I it's not necessarily about doing this beyond that. I enjoy the community aspect of it.
Yeah, it's
yeah.
like
That's dope.
so so kind of segue to my next question is like, is there a goal from streaming, or is streaming just like a relief and a thing you just look forward to doing whenever you
If
got the time?
if I had to name a goal, it would be to like continue the passion for it. I really truly love it right now. I know how I am. I know how I get. I don't want to like lose it. I have my down days sometimes where I'm like, what am I doing? Where like I'll fire one up and then I'll be on 4 hours and like I don't even see like my regular people that swing by and I'm like, man, are they getting tired of me? Like I started getting these weird like
Yeah,
thoughts creeping in my
Oh, it
mind and I'm
happens.
like,
It
man,
happens.
like am I wasting time here at this point? Like are they saturated of Timmy B? But it's never the case. It's just something weird that happened. It was just timing or whatever, and then like one person swings through and they like This is why I'm doing it. Like, why was I even thinking about that back there? It's like this is it. This is the jam. So just to keep, honestly, like really just to keep that passion fueled, overall, to keep it going, keep creating, just to create a community, just to keep the community. I think that's probably the most fun I'm having, um is seeing the people that swing through regularly, like, keep coming back. I'm starting to like really know them, starting to really learn
Yeah.
about them. Or it's fun. I'm having a blast with it, to be honest.
Oh yeah. You got
That's dope,
another?
man.
You got another question? Loaded up.
Do I
Oh,
have
I
another question?
Oh, I was asking Flame.
Oh, Flame. Okay,
oh
yeah.
yeah, see me if I okay. So I was told I heard through the grapevine you like Limp Bizkit. Is this true?
Oh yeah, dude. Oh yeah, I love them all. Limp Biscuit, Cold Chamber, Corn. I have Corn tattooed. My very first tattoo I ever got was Corn. New metal, you name it. Mid to late '90s, early 2000s rock is, dude.
Yeah.
It's like literally like you pull out my blood and you look at it through a microscope, and there's like $3 bill mixed in with Life is Peachy, like mixed in, dude. You name it, it's in there,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah, what's the best what's the most memorable Limp Bizkit line that you know off the rip, off the
Oh,
top
off
of
the
your
rip.
head?
Oh my god, on the spot. Well, I guess it would be nice. Dude, I love me. That's the very first freaking jam I ever heard from Limp Bizkit. Their first single, their first hit, and the George Michael cover, obviously, or Wham. I don't know who did it. One of the two, right? Same. But yeah, dude, that's the one. If I
Yeah.
could touch your body, I know not everybody has got a body like me.
Oh
Yo,
man,
let's go. Let's go.
I
The
always
What?
fuck up. And then the dude on the turntables. Sorry. Now you got
yeah.
me in that
Yeah.
mode. Yeah.
That
Uh-huh.
was a fun era, and we
Oh,
were
a blast.
all that music, especially that new metal at that time, all that crazy rock rap type deal.
Yo, I
It was
definitely had
insane.
the chocolate starfish and the hot dog flavored water. Let's
I,
Let's
I,
go.
let's
I
yeah,
love it.
me and my brother also had that CD
Yo,
because
that's
Yeah.
we fell in love with. I think the reason we started liking Limp Bizkit was because of wrestling. Like I can't remember who had their song.
Undertaker, keep
Was it
rolling.
Undertaker?
Yo, and
Taker?
then
And
they
we were like,
dropped
wait,
that fire. They dropped that fire remix, bro, with like Method Man and yo, that was cold, yo. That keep rolling remix with DMX, Method Man, Redman. Have you heard that? The keep rolling
I'm
it
remix.
I'm
was
sure.
a star-studded cast, but that
Yo,
was
it
more
was
of the
just like,
mainstream thing. You were in the deep cuts.
Dude, that was when like everything started crossing, right? So hip hop, rock started coming together, and
Yep.
like they were just, oh, it was so fun. So many things happening. Rock. So these new metal bands like covering old hip hop jams. And then you're getting like new rock with old school hip hop dudes like putting features on it. It was, oh, what a great era. Like, so
yeah,
cool. So cool.
yeah. Nah, most definitely. Most definitely. Uh so I like to ask this. What was the first game that you ever played? What was your first video game ever?
Oh, it's Duck Hunt or Super Mario Brothers, one of those two.
And that's what's up. Me too.
Yeah.
Me
Yeah,
too. What
Duck
about
Hunt or
you?
Super Mario.
What about you, nerd? I didn't ask you that, but I want to ask you too. What was the first game that you ever played? Ever?
I feel like maybe my first video game ever was either Super Mario or Zelda. One of those.
Which one? Like like Nintendo?
Yeah, yeah, with the
Yeah.
gold cartridge.
The gold
Zelda
one.
had the gold
Yeah.
cartridge.
Yo, for real.
On
Those gold
Absolutely.
NES.
cartridges were dope.
Yeah,
that was my first one. What was your first one that you were like, this is this is my favorite game of all time, and you kept running it back? Like you would beat it and then you would come back again next weekend and run it back again. What is it?
Easy for me. Maybe not a weekend, but Final Fantasy VII, bro.
Oh, dude.
That's why I play games. Like honestly, I'm a little brother. You know what I mean? I got three older brothers, so I didn't really get to play until they were like out the house and I was there. And like Final Fantasy VII was that game. I was like, whoa, we're not just jumping on people's heads and coins are popping out. Like these dudes are cussing. Like this story
Oh,
is
really?
deep,
yeah,
bro. Yeah,
yeah.
that's why I play RPGs because like I saw a lot of sports and like for me as the little brother, like in the house, it was like super competitive and like I would always get fucking dogged on those games. Like
Hmm.
like sometimes my brother would lose to another brother and then play me just so I get to play, yes. And then they
So they
just
can
like
feel
just
good about themselves.
yeah, just utterly destroy me. So like when I started like RPGs, man, all right,
The
yeah,
solo thing, right? Where you can
yeah,
go and do your own thing, and they didn't even have the option to come in and mess you up, huh?
Yeah.
yeah. You know, it was just like, and then they would be like, "Yo, how did you pass this part?" And then
Right.
it's like it's not competitive. You gotta think it out. You gotta
Mm.
Yeah.
like go
It's
go look around. You know, like
competitive on its in its own way, not just like hammer, hammer, fist, fist, hammer, hammer. It's like you
yeah,
got to be a little bit more cerebral about it, right?
yeah, most
Yeah.
definitely.
See, me, I had like different phases of like, I feel like I don't have a favorite one, but there were certain games in certain era. Like in the beginning, I think Contra was like the most played game. I used to want to go play Contra every day. Like I love that game. To this day, I'd still play the original Contra if I had it.
Awesome.
Yo,
But
that's a
I
good
just
one.
was in
That's
love
a
with that
good
game.
one.
I don't
That is
know.
a good one.
That's a very good one, bro.
And then you go to
Especially the gun
64.
parts.
Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, you get the gun upgrades and things like that.
Yeah. Oh man,
But then
what a
64
dope
came
game.
out, Smash Brothers, and I skipped PlayStation. Tekken 3 was like the game of all games. And then I think my favorite fighting game is Marvel vs. Capcom 2. So like things like that. And then RPGs came out. I think I fell in love with RPGs when was it something Quest on Quest 64.
Ah, okay,
That was
okay.
a crazy
That was
obscure one, but
yeah. That's an
it was
interesting one.
huge in Japan, and then it came over to America, and I was like, "What is this? What is
Huh.
this? Like open world?" But of course, you look
Yeah,
at the graphics now; it's terrible.
Oh, gotta love that 8-bit,
yeah.
Not even.
16
It's
bit.
like they tried to dabble into 3D. It was like right before Mario 64 came out, where
Oh,
they
so it was Super Nintendo.
now this was
That was
64.
Oh,
Yeah, because
64.
I really
Oh,
didn't
64
get in.
bit. Okay.
Yeah, I really didn't get in. I like RPGs on PlayStation. Like I can't remember the names of those RPGs, but it wasn't Final Fantasy. It was a more cartoony type deal.
mm,
They have those random RPGs that came out.
yeah.
But
PlayStation
yeah,
was king of that. Legend
yep.
of Dragoon and like uh Chrono Trigger. They had that
Kale
like place.
series.
Yeah, they had PlayStation definitely had the hits, man. Well, what about you, Timmy? What was yours?
Mine, Mega Man 5.
Ooh.
Summer
Ooh,
times with my summers, my mom would send me over to my aunt and my uncle's house. I have a younger cousin, G. I'm sure you guys, if you've been in my streams for recently or for forever from beginning of time since I've started streaming. My cousin G, he's usually one of my regulars that I run with, but uh Mega Man 5 on the old big box console TV on my aunt's TV,
yeah.
the one that had like the orange fabric speakers on the side
Yeah, I
and
was
you
about to
had the
say with the
two
fabric
dials.
speakers.
Yep. And then firing up Mega Man 5 and like for whatever reason, he's so much better at video games than I am, but for whatever reason, I was the guy on that game and he would like dude, we were so nerdy about it, but like we would plan like days in advance. Okay, so Saturday's coming up and they're planning on going and doing this, so it's just you and I. We can have the front TV all day. This is what we're gonna do, and we got snacks planned. We literally got snacks and drinks planned out. We got pillows. We know which blankets we're gonna bring out to the living room and how we were gonna set it up, and we would just sit and in an all day event, Mega Man 5, and with the notepad on the side, so we write down the code so you can just jump back into the level, or you can, you know what I mean, like.
Yeah.
That was mine. Mega Man 5 was a blast. It was a
God, I do
blast.
remember
So
Mega Man. I loved some Mega Man growing up.
yeah, Mega Man was dope. I love that game too, man. Especially like taking the abilities, dog. Like what? Like that's what made it like even dope. It's like you get to the end, you beat the boss, and it's not just you beat the boss. You're taking his abilities with you.
Yeah, you're taking
Like
his
let's
And then
power
along
go.
the
stick.
way, you had to learn, like, oh man, this ability would work. So you had to beat the bosses in a specific order that you could use the abilities to
Right.
help you along the way for that next one. And it was like it started making sense. And
Yeah.
the game was awesome, but I think it was like more or less like the whole thing surrounded by the game and like the era and
Yeah.
the moments and like that whole thing, summer times with my cousin and all that thing
Yeah,
and all that stuff was like what makes that the one for me for sure.
I
Yeah.
feel like back
Dope.
in the day, gaming is a unique experience that'll never be replicated like in today's world. Like
Yeah.
no internet, you know, the the slumber parties were. I feel like they felt different. I'm not a kid now, but
Oh,
like,
dude.
Yeah.
GoldenEye slumber
Man.
oh,
parties, dude. Come
Golden Night.
on.
Couch
Woo!
co-ops, dog. Couch
Dude.
co-ops in general, man. Like it
Oh.
was dope, man. You go over to the person's house and
Mhm.
everybody just like for me it was Street Fighter house parties.
That's another
You
one.
know,
Yep.
you'd show up and then like I it felt good when you were the person who went through the house.
Yep.
And
Yeah,
then
We
it was
the
like
guy.
then it
somebody get
became
him off the
about getting
sticks.
you yeah, then it became
Uh-huh.
about getting you off the controller, bro.
Yep.
Like that was
Yep.
me, Street Fighter Alpha, Adon, bro. I like yo,
Okay.
and then I gotta snitch this guy out because I'll never forget him. I was whooping people's tail, bro, for weeks, and then this dude Justin pulled up to the crib, right? And he used Blanca.
No.
Just
Oh,
cheating.
Uh-huh.
bro.
Just
No,
cheating.
Yeah.
he was just on me, bro. I got up, he
Uh-huh.
Oh, he was
flipped.
on you.
I yeah, I get up, he did a little flip move. I'd come in, try and hit him with the knee, electrocute me. It just I was like, all right, man, you know what? I felt good because I got him one time with I think I got him with Crimson Viper on some
Okay.
random stuff. And I was like, yeah, but yeah. Couch
Oh man.
co-ops,
You
baby.
can't be Blanc. That was the same thing in our house. You can't be Odd Job. Goldeneye, no Odd Job. You can't be him, right?
Throwing
He's too
hats.
short. It was like
Uh,
that was the first one that was like that was the cheat mode. If you're Odd Job, hey, get out of here with that. You're not allowed to be Odd Job. But yeah, running Blanca, no way, dude. That would have been for sure 100% like no Blanca. We ain't doing that shocking crap. Every time somebody come in with a move, it's like nope.
what about did y'all go through the Tony Hawk Pro Skater phase?
Yep.
Oh yes,
Oh
bro.
man.
So much. I even had to get that remaster, man. Like that
Yeah, I
game.
got the
Oh,
remaster as
oof.
well. Yeah,
Yeah,
one and
that
two.
game is
It came with one and
amazing.
two. Here I am, doing everything I can.
Da, da, da,
Yeah.
da. Yeah. So I got we started on the or Pizza Hut came out with a demo. You could play the
Yeah.
Camp Woodward or what was the name of the
Yeah,
first
the
part?
Woodward in Philadelphia.
Woodward. You could play that mode. I think you could play like 2 or 3 skaters and then that one mode and we would do like too many hours. I think we wore that disc out until we finally bought it. But yeah, that was the one. That
Over
was
and
the one.
over. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Tony Hawk is
They
legit.
always had a good soundtrack. They
Mm-hmm.
always had a great
Mm-hmm.
soundtrack.
Yeah, they did. That was another one. Like, see, so many of those games, like it was just so good. Like it was good, like culture mesh and stuff. Like
Yeah.
it was amazing. I like that stuff.
Well, nerds, it is time for us to wrap up our first episode of What's Your Nerd with special guest Timmy B Gaming. Uh, I had a blast. Like just listening to your stories, especially about your job. Like, God, I can't get over it. It's just really fascinating. I love learning like random things about people and like
Most
where they came
definitely.
from. But
Yeah, you had amazing. You definitely had an amazing journey. Like that's dope going from diving and you know, I know you do a lot of other stuff too. And so for the people that are watching, tell them where they can go watch you stream and just find your content.
Where they can
Facebook.
meet Timmy B.
Facebook. It's the only place I'm at. The only place so far that I'm planning on being on. I have no intentions of going anywhere else at the moment. Facebook is just literally Timmy B. When you find the bright colors, the mint and pink, that's me. Come swing
Okay.
by, come say hi.
And
Yeah, those
we'll
probably
throw
go.
a link in the comments too. I think we can do that so people can find your stuff as well.
Yeah, and I always wanted one of those pink and pink, the mint and pink hats that you had, the black with all black. So you guys check that out too. He has a cool logo for merchandise, and I'm pretty sure you still sell them, right?
We'll get there. We're going again. I got
Or you just
a new drop coming out. We got t-shirts coming out here soon. But yeah, keep on the lookout. Swing by. All the information's there. And then I'll get you pointed in the right direction. If you guys want a t-shirt, whatever you name it, we'll get you pointed in the right direction for sure.
Awesome.
before we get out of here, do you have a streaming schedule or the next time you're streaming?
Weekends, Saturday, Sunday, early mornings. You can 100% find me any one of those days. Saturday, Sunday, early mornings. Friday nights, mainly weekends though. So if you're a weekend warrior like me, come swing through, come hang out. I'll be there for sure.
Work
Awesome.
hard during the week, play hard at the weekend.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, we're gonna be signing off, everybody. I'm Flame on Games. And I
Nerd
got
Solo.
Timmy B. I appreciate you guys.
all
Yes,
right,
thank you
y'all
for
blast.
have a
coming
good
on,
one.
man.
What a
Thank
blast.
you.